Hello, this is the presentation for week 1 for IS183. The discussion one for this week is to respond to the topic, define a relational database, share one example of a database that has been used to organize data. When sharing this example, provide the URL so we can also access the site. If you're using one that's online. Make sure you have at least 100 words, not counting your reference. Include at least one APA reference and in-text citation. Respond to 3 other students' posts. Should be about 65 words. Going back to the discussion, the initial response is due Wednesday. The responses are due by Sunday. The week 1 assignment has 2 parts. The first part, you download the PowerPoint file, W1A1ER diagrams, determine the relationships for each, and save the PowerPoint with your name. So for instance, on this first question, you're to determine whether Tom was a customer of Chase One Bank and he has an account number. Is this one-to-one? Is this one-to-many? Or is it many-to-many? So you just drag whichever one of these it is between the two to show the relationship. Once you've answered all those, there's 2 ways you can do part 2. You can add a new slide to this PowerPoint and only submit the one file, or you can create a whole new PowerPoint and name it with your name part 2. It doesn't matter to me which way you want to do it. So you're going to download the IS183 dataset, which is an Excel file, and you're going to create an ER diagram showing the relationships of student, faculty, grades, and course. So I just want to talk about the different relationships. A one-to-one relationship. In a one-to-one relationship, each occurrence of data in one entity is represented by only one occurrence of data in another entry, and it is shown with a straight line. In a one-to-many relationship, each occurrence of data in one entity can be represented by many occurrences in the other entity, and it's shown with a line with crow's feet on the many side. Then a many-to-many is that many relationships, there's data that can have multiple occurrences in both entities. And with this one, it's has crow's feet on both ends. So in the entity relationship diagram, you're going to create an entity using the text box tool found on the Insert tab. Enter the entity name, such as student, so you would have the category student, and then you would put in the name, student ID, student name, student address, and you're going to make an entity for students, faculty, grades, and course. Then you're going to create your relationship markers using the drawing tool. So for instance, in the drawing tool, which should be on the home tab, you're going to use the straight line. Then to make the one with crow's feet, it's just a straight line, and then you just put 2 little lines there. And then for the other one, you just put 2 on each line. That's how I did how I created that. So here's kind of an example of an entity relationship diagram showing the different relationships. Oh, before I finish, so once you've created that, however you do it, if you did it in the one PowerPoint, then you just save it and it will just be this entity which will show me the relationships that you determined from the data set. Then I want to go over some things that you can study for the midterm and final. So know those depictions of each relationship that I went over. That's on page 5. A hierarchical database was the earlier type of database, but is no longer used for modern computing because now we use the relational database. You will rarely find a one-to-one relationship. More often you will work with one-to-many relationships. A candidate key is any column that can be used as the primary key. Sequence is a database object that generates a series of integers, commonly used to create a unique primary key. The value for a column or group of columns does not need to satisfy a certain condition. The primary key indicates that a column contains a unique value for each row. That's on pages 7 and 8. A common field is used to join data contained in different tables, and that's on page 17. I have the ebook. I'm hoping that the pages correspond if you have the print book. And then, of course, I put in my references, which is the book that we're using. So I know that's pretty short, but that's all I have for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know.